Okay, folks, this is again a recap from Idaho, or East Washington into Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and then that's where you pick us up. So,
yeah. So we just left Seattle,
right,
and we're traveling through Washington, and a lot more farming out there than I would have anticipated. Just a lot of open country once you get outside of the mountains to Idaho. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed Idaho. We know we didn't go through much of it, maybe only an hour and a half worth of Idaho.
We went through I-90, which is the very north part, which is the skinny, it goes like this.
Yeah.
So the skinny part across the top, that's where we went. So from there we went through it. It's a gorgeous state, a lot more hills, and
yeah.
In my mind,
the Lolo National Forest,
right,
which is an unbelievable forest.
Yeah.
Really pretty. Really
a lot
pretty
different.
Country.
All the national forests, the main ones that we went through, were a lot different very distinct differences from each other.
Yeah.
Very different ecosystems.
You could really tell from state to state, surprising differences. I mean, like when we were in the desert, there were different types of desert that really told you where you were in a different state. And when we got up into the forested areas, different types of trees in different states. I mean,
yeah.
It was just really striking how different each landscape was. I expected it to be a lot of the same.
Right.
And you could really tell a marked difference between the states on how the ecosystems were put together.
Yeah. And for me, really, in my mind, I've got the plains of the Central America, which is where we live, the breadbasket. You got that flat, you got the Rockies, and then you just got flatness, and it's not that way at all.
No,
after
not
you
at
get
all.
on the West Coast, it's very mountainous. Even on the West Coast.
The coastal area is very small.
Yeah, very small. Very
Yeah.
small. So anyway, from there we went into Montana, through Idaho into Montana. We stayed in Missoula. Nice little town, big sky country, no shit.
Yeah.
Great nickname.
No shit.
Actually, Montana is the trencher state.
Yeah.
We played the game on the way home. I told Dave the nickname, and he tried to guess the state.
The state.
So,
or he'd tell me the state, and I'd try to guess the nickname.
So,
but
anyway, we stopped in Missoula, and then nice little town. We stayed at the Brook Street Motor Inn.
Motor Inn, yeah. There's a picture of it, I think.
I think so, yeah. I don't think I'll post all. I don't know if I'll post all of them, but
Yeah.
some of them. If it makes it or not, I don't know. But that's in the middle of the Rocky Mountains, and really just gorgeous country. I missed the sunset one night, and I didn't.
But we still got to see it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you
It
just
was-
missed the picture.
Yeah, as far as us is concerned, we got to see it, which
Yeah.
y'all missed out because I didn't get the shot. So, but anyway, gorgeous, just beautiful. I mean, sunsets here are pretty, but out there you can see so much more. I mean, you can see like 10 miles away, 10, 15 miles away.
It's just different.
Right, it
And
is.
it's a kind of different. You just can't put into words.
Right.
Because the country out there is
Just different.
it's just different.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how. I can't say it. I don't know how.
But and then from there we went to
From Montana, we went down to Wyoming into Yellowstone.
which we talked about.
We've already been through Yellowstone.
Right.
Once we got out of Yellowstone, we were anticipating stopping at Cody, and we kept on going. And we took alternate 14, which takes you through the Bighorn Mountains. And second only to the Redwood Forest, I would say the Bighorn Mountain Range was the second natural wonder that I was just completely impressed with.
Totally unexpected.
Yeah, this was just a road we were planning on taking to get to a destination,
Right.
and it turned out to be one of the most beautiful landscapes that I've ever seen.
I've got a couple shots, and I'll try to make sure I pinpoint one of them. A couple shots where you get to a point in a vista where you can see probably about a 240-degree angle. I mean, depth of field, and you can probably see 20 miles. I mean, just vast.
Oh yeah,
And
and
that's not even at the top of the mountain. I mean, you're still sitting at like 7,000 feet.
yeah,
And this mountain
these
goes up-
mountains goes all the way. They go. You drive up to over 9,000.
Over 9,000, I think. Yeah. So
and the Bighorn. I mean, just the Bighorn Mountains and the whole area with the forest.
Once you get on top of these mountains, it turns into like a grassy field. Like
they
the
had
Black
cows
Hills.
just grazing on top of the mountain.
It turns into the Black Hills on top of this mountain range.
Yeah, and we passed an Indian medicine wheel, which is
cool.
like kind of like a Stonehenge for us, for Native Americans.
Yeah.
Very. I mean, the whole thing was just
very cool.
And we got to a point where you pass over every turn and there's just another vista, and it's just like, okay, let's just keep driving because we've seen so much.
Yeah. And there's a point at which, I mean, me and Dave, we covered so much. I mean, in 8 days we covered 5,300 miles plus, and I don't regret going that fast. I appreciate it for what it is, but after a while, you get to the point where you've seen so much that it's just like, whoop-de-doo, it's another mountain range, or whoop-de-doo, it's another vista, or, you know, Wadi freaking da. But every turn, like Dave said, is just...
It's just another view.
I mean,
and it's overwhelming.
Right, you can sit there and stare at it for hours, just because of its beauty, and you can just be there. It's nice. It's nice. It's quiet, too, by the way. The silence is nice.
Yeah. It was very striking.
If you could ever get to a point where there's just pure silence, nothing but the wind, if that.
The only place we got to that was totally silent without even any wind was right before we got into...
Death Valley.
No, right before we got into a Grand Canyon. That stretch of highway, right before we got to the Grand Canyon.
I thought it was Death Valley. Oh. Anyway.
It all blurs together.
Yeah. So, good trip overall. I think this brings us up to where we're at. Did we make one after?
This gets us current with Sheridan.
Yeah.
Which should take us to the end, and we'll make one more to recap from Sioux Falls or Sioux City to home.
Here. Okay.
And then we'll be good.
Yeah. So peace out.
All right.
And we'll catch you in just a second.